My Adventures with Superman might end up being my favorite iteration of the character. Okay, before anything, let me clarify that I actually have very little experience with Superman. Um, I've never read the comics, never really watched the animated series. I definitely watched a couple of episodes as a kid, but I never like watched through it or grew attached to Superman in any way. And then like fast forward to the DCEU, and I mean I like Man of Steel, and then obviously Batman v Superman is poo poo caca. The theatrical cut of Justice League is poo poo caca. The Snyder cut was fine. Um, Although I do really enjoy Superman and Lois. That's really what this show is competing with. But I say all of that to say that I just don't have much of an experience with Superman. And then even when you look at Superman and Lois, as great as it is, it's not like your traditional Superman, right? Like it's Superman, he's a dad, he moved back to Smallville. My Adventures with Superman is like my first experience with a traditional Superman experience where we're seeing Clark go to the Daily Planet and he meets Lois and oh gosh, what's his name? The oh my gosh, I forgot his friend. He's black in the show. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up while I talk. But this is my first experience with like this trio of characters, and watching this show, I was like, oh, so this is why people like Superman. Like I genuinely had that realization. I was like, oh, this is delightful. Why doesn't it give his why doesn't it give the character's name on Google when you type in My Adventures with Superman? What is his what's his name? Hold on, I'm finding this. I'm not cutting this out of the video, by the way. Jimmy Olsen. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was like, you're seeing this trio of characters, and it's like, oh, this is why people like Superman. I get it now. It's like that Danny DeVito meme. But yeah, this show is just delightful. I mean, it's very anime inspired. I don't think it ever goes like too deep into anime, but it definitely has its inspirations. Like when you get that that like the suit up scene, it feels very anime. And you just get these little flashes every now and then. A lot of the expressions, right? The way that the characters' faces will sort of change for comedic effects. I don't know, stuff that I've definitely seen in like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I know that's not an anime either, but that's anime inspired. But yeah, so the animation is pretty good. The like I said before, the characters are wonderful. I think the humor really hits. And I'm just so down with this iteration of Superman. I also another interesting thing about it, I actually like that it's not that this Superman isn't like too overpowered. Like he struggles fighting four giant robots, which you know, may, obviously he's very powerful, but I feel like other iterations of Superman wouldn't have struggled at all with those four giant robots, right? They would have had to have been kryptonite robots. And I definitely like the idea of this Superman being vulnerable and there being very real threats to him. Although they did I feel like they kind of hinted at the fact that maybe he just hasn't unlocked his powers yet. I think like did he like truly unlock his powers when he went into like the thing and into his ship or something? I'm a bit foggy on that. correct me on that, but I don't know. I like the idea of a Superman that isn't too overpowered. Um, and I know I've heard some people complain about changes and stuff. Like I don't know, maybe they don't like the way that his suit forms or something. Obviously people don't like Black Jimmy Olsen. People have like a problem with the way that Deathstroke is being portrayed. I don't care about any of that. Sincere, like even if I was a huge Superman fan, I wouldn't care because it's like, is the show good? That's It's really all that matters at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's like, is the show good? Oh, okay, then I don't care about any of that, right? But that's just how I consume media. But I understand there are a lot of people that are like, it's not exactly the same as the original source material. Although, exactly which original source material am I talking about? Because we're talking about the world of comic books where things change literally every few years. So, which source material exactly am I talking about? But no, this is different. So, I understand there are people that are like that, and that perspective is valid, I guess. But I sincerely do not care about any of the changes. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I highly recommend checking it out. I think I think a lot of people will definitely enjoy it. Because I looked it up and we haven't had like a proper Superman cartoon since like 2000, which is pretty wacky to think about, right? Because they did the animated series, which I think went from 96 to 2000, and then they kind of transitioned into the Justice League show. But this is just a proper Superman animated series, and it's been a really long time. And yeah, so it's on Adult Swim. I was a little bit worried about that because I was like, I don't know that I need Superman to be like, I don't need like a raunchy Superman comedy, nor do I need like it to be super violent. And this is none of those things. I'm not really sure why it's on Adult Swim, but this is at least the first two episodes. You could absolutely watch this with your kid, you know, or so like, up until now, I haven't seen anything, you know, out of pocket or whatever. But but yeah, and then it's on HBO Max as well, so you can just watch it there. So yeah, let me know what you think about My Adventures with Superman if you've seen it. I think it's really great, and I'm really excited to keep watching it. So let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.